Yo, yo, yo. This journey, this road that I travel on, it all seems crazy. Over the years, I picked up thousands of tag-alongs, inspired by my story. From a juvenile, when my clothes had holes in them, and my afro was picky, to them 90s, Moschino and Versace, no laces in a rod.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du, fa'uz billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Part 2 on emergence of Dajjal, the Jewish king. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hazrat Abu Hurairah, may God be pleased with him, he has stated that the Holy Messenger has said, the doomsday will not come until the Romans would land at Al-Amaq or at Al-Dabiq, two places near the city of Aleppo, Syria map. They will be confronted by an army of Medina comprising of the best people living on the earth at that time. When they will be ready for the battle, the Roman will say, do not come between us and those who have taken our people as prisoners. We will fight against them. The Muslims will say, nay, by God, we will not keep aside. Then the fighting will start. 1/3 of the Muslim army will run away, from which God will not forgive them. The other 1/3 will be killed, martyred, and the last third will be victorious, will not be put on any trial again. Later they will conquer Constantinople, when they will be busy in distribution of war booty amongst themselves, hanging their swords on olive trees. The Satan will cry, Masih ad-Dajjal has reached your families. They will come out and find that the news is false. In their return journey to Syria, they will find that Dajjal has really emerged. During their preparation for war, there will be a call to prayer. Jesus Christ, may God bless him, will descend and will lead the prayer. When Dajjal will see Jesus Christ, may God bless him, Dajjal will start melting like salt melts in water. If he had left out, Dajjal would have melted completely and died. But God will kill him with his own hand and will show his blood by waging his war. Muslim. According to some narrations, a fierce battle between the Christians and Muslims will be fought for occupation of Syria, which a very large number of Muslims will be killed, but ultimately they will be victorious. Yusayr bin Jabir, may God be pleased with him, states that red storm was blowing in Kufa. A common man came and said, O Abdullah bin Masud, may God be pleased with him, it appears that the doomsday has come. Hearing this, he sat down and said, the doomsday will not come. Inheritance is not distributed, and the booty of war will not be enjoyed. After that, he pointed his hands towards Syria and said, the enemy will gather to fight the Muslims, and Muslims will also gather to fight them. I asked, from your enemy, do you mean Romans? He replied, yes. This battle will be fought with great courage and high sentiment. A group of Muslims will take an oath that they will either die or return victorious. They will fight until the night forces them to return without victory for either side, but all oath takers will be killed. Next day, another group of Muslims will take an oath to fight unto death. The night will separate both the warring enemies without any result, but all oath takers will die. Third day, among group talks the oath and all killed without any result. On the fourth day, all the remaining Muslims will jump into the battlefield and will fight with unprecedented bravery and courage. They will be victorious, but at a very high cost. The human corpses will be scattered everywhere. Even a bird will not be able to fly and go across the human bodies. A father of 100 sons will find that only one son has survived. For this, the Muslims will not be pleased with enormous booty of war, and will not care for bequeath. Even they will not have not they would have not overcome this tragedy. They will receive more shocking news when that the Dajjal, the Antichrist, has emerged. They will throw away all that they hold and will gather. They will send 10 riders to confirm the news. The Holy Messenger ﷺ says, I know their names, the names of their fathers and the colors of their horses. At that time they will be the best riders on the surface. At the time they will be the best riders on the surface of the earth. Or he said, they will be among the best riders on the surface of the earth. Jesus Christ will kill Dajjal. Another hadith related by Sahih Muslim through Hazrat Nawaz bin Saman, may Allah be pleased with him, is very explicit and more elaborate about the features and the characteristics of the Antichrist or Masih ad-Dajjal. Hazrat Nawaz bin Saman relates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, I worry nothing more than Dajjal for you. I shall be sufficient on your behalf if I remain alive and if he comes forth while I am not with you. A man must take care of himself. God will take care of every Muslim. Dajjal will have curly hair and one blind eye. I can compare him with Abdul Uzza bin Qatan. Whoever finds him should read opening verses of Al-Kahf in front of him. He will come forth from the mountains between Syria and Iraq. He will go round and round, right to left, and destroy them. The Holy Messenger ﷺ said, further added, O slaves of God, be steadfast. We asked, O Messenger of God ﷺ, how long will he stay? He replied, 40 days. First day will be as long as 1 day, the second day 1 month, the third day 1 week, while the rest of the days will be like ordinary days. We asked the Holy Prophet ﷺ, will the prayer for 1 day be sufficient for the day equal to 1 year? He replied, no. You should count the time and then pray accordingly. We inquired the messenger further, with what speed the Dajjal will go around the earth. He said, like a cloud blown by wind. He will go to some people and call them to come under his umbrella. They will believe him and respond positively. He will order the sky to rain and the earth to grow. Both will obey his order. As a result, their cattle will become more fatty, milkier and more healthy. Then he will go to the other people and invite them to accept him as God. They will reject him. He will leave them with a curse. They will be afflicted with drought and famine. Thereafter, he will pass through a ruined place and order it to bring out its hidden wealth. Hearing this, all the hidden treasures will follow him like bees follow their queens. He will call a very healthy young man and cut him into pieces and throw them away. Then he will call them both. The pieces will come to him running. He will be very pleased and laugh. In these circumstances, the Almighty God will send down Hazrat Jesus Christ. May God bless him. He will descend near white minaret in east Damascus, wearing 2 pieces of yellow cloth and putting his both hands on the wings of 2 angels. His sweat will trickle down like pearl. His breath will kill every infidel and will go as far as his eyesight will reach. He will pursue Dajjal and will find him at the gates of Lud, at present Lead, and will kill him. After that, Hazrat Jesus Christ, may God bless him, will go to the people whom God saved from the catastrophe of Dajjal. He will console them and tell them about their high places in paradise. At that time, God will reveal to Jesus Christ, I have brought forth some of my servants whom no one will be able to fight. Take my servant safely to Tur mountain. Then God will send Gog and Magog, and they will swarm down from every slope. The first of them will pass by the lake of Tiberias and will drink some of its water, and the last of them will pass by it and say, "There used to be water here." Jesus Christ, the Prophet of God, and his companions will be besieged until a bull's head will be dearer to them than 100 dinars. Are to you nowadays. Then Jesus Christ and his companions will pray to God, and he will send insects that will bite the people of Gog and Magog on their necks. In the morning they will perish, all perish as one. Then Jesus Christ and his companions will come down, and they will not find any nook or cranny on the earth which is free from their putrid stench. Jesus Christ and his companions will again pray to God, who will send birds and camels, and they will seize the bodies of Gog and Magog and throw them wherever God wills. Then God will send rain that no house or tent will be able to keep out. And then the earth will look cleansed until it will look like a mirror. Then the earth will be told to bring forth its fruit and restore its blessings. On that day, a group of people will be able to eat from a single pomegranate and seek shelter under its skin, i.e., the fruit will be so large, a milk camel will give so much milk that a whole party will be able to drink from it, and a milk sheep will give so much milk that a whole family will be able to drink from it. At that time, God will send a pleasant wind that will soothe them even under their armpits, and will take take away the soul of every Muslim. Only the wicked people will be left, and they will falconate like horses. Then the last hour will come upon them, Muslim. The best martyr will be killed by Dajjal. It is reported from Hazrat Abu Sayyid al-Khudri, may God be pleased with him, that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Dajjal would be confronted by a Muslim. The bodyguards of Dajjal will get hold of him and will ask him, "Where is he going?" "I am going towards a man who has come forth." "Do you believe in our God?" "My God is not like this," he will reply. They will decide to kill him. Later they will tell each other that our God has given a standing order not to kill anyone without his permission. They will take him to Dajjal. As soon as he will see Dajjal, he will exclaim, "O people, look, this is Dajjal, about whom our Holy Prophet ﷺ has informed." Dajjal will order his men to throw him on the ground and hit him on his head and face. Then he will be released and asked, "Do you believe in me?" He will say, "You are the Antichrist, the liar." Then he will order to put a saw on his head and cut him into pieces. Thereafter, the Dajjal will walk between both the separated pieces and order him to stand up. He will stand up. Then the Dajjal will ask him, "Will you still not believe me?" He will reply, "Now I am doubly sure," and will exclaim, "O people, after me he will not be able to kill anyone else." Hearing this, the Dajjal will catch him for slaughter. God will make his neck brassy, making him hopeless. Then out of his zeal and anger, the Dajjal will catch him with both his hands and throw him into hell. People will think that he has been thrown into hell, while actually he will go to paradise. The Holy Messenger said he will be the greatest martyr near the Almighty God. Dajjal will not enter Mecca and Medina. The damned Dajjal, or the big liar, will be prevented from entrance of the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. The angels will guard the gates of these two holy cities and will turn him away whenever he will try to enter it. Hazrat Abu Hurairah, may God be pleased with him, relates that the Messenger of God ﷺ said, "Dajjal will come from the east and with the intention of entering Medina. He will come down behind Ohad mountain, from where the angels will turn his face towards Syria. He will perish there." Muslim. Hazrat Abu Bakr, may God be pleased with him, narrated the Holy Prophet ﷺ as saying, The fear of Masih ad-Dajjal will not reach Medina. At that time, Medina will have 7 gates, having 2 angels on each gate. Bukhari. Dajjal, a great test and a big catastrophe for Muslims. Every individual, every society, community and nation is tested individually and collectively by God through various things, while one of the greatest tests of his Ummah will be in the shape of Masih ad-Dajjal, the Antichrist, according to Hazrat Imam bin Hasin, may God be pleased with him. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Since the birth of Adam ﷺ till the advent of Doomsday, there is no mischief greater than that of Dajjal." Muslim. Hazrat Abu Sayyid al-Khudri, may God be pleased with him, narrates that Holy Prophet ﷺ said, 70,000 people of my Ummah will follow Dajjal. They will be wearing black sheets. Sharh al-Sunnah. General Muslims advised to keep off Dajjal. Dajjal will wield a massive power, large army and will show the people deceptive miracles that will attract large crowd around him, fully convinced with his show-off. Abu Dawud relates from Hazrat Imran bin Hasin, may God be pleased with him, that Holy Messenger ﷺ said, "Those who hear about the Dajjal should stay far away from him. By God, a person approach thinking him to be a believer, but on seeing his amazing feats, he will turn into his follower." Both most authentic books of Hadith, Bukhari and Muslim, relate from Hazrat Mughira ibn Shuba, may God be pleased with him, that nobody has asked the Holy Prophet ﷺ about Dajjal more than me. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Why are you so disturbed about him? He will not do any harm to you." I said, "O Messenger of God ﷺ, people say he will carry with him food and water." The Prophet ﷺ said, "That is much easy for God to test the people so that the believers may be rewarded and infidels and hypocrites may be punished with full proof." Is Dajjal alive and chained on an island? Hazrat Fatima bint Owis, God be pleased with her, reports that she heard a voice of Muazzin, caller for prayers, that the prayer is ready. I offered a prayer with the Holy Messenger ﷺ. After concluding his prayer, the Prophet ﷺ climbed on the pulpit, smiling. He said everybody should take their seats. Thereafter he said, "Do you know why I've asked you to assemble?" The people replied, "God and his messenger know better." The Prophet ﷺ said, "By God, I have not gathered you here to give you an exhortation or a warning. I have kept you here because of Tamim al-Dari, a Christian man who has come and embraced Islam. He told me something that agrees with what I have already told you about Dajjal. He told me that he had sailed in a ship with 30 men from Banu Lakhan and Banu Juddam. The waves had tossed them for about a month, and they were brought to an island at sunset. They landed on the island and were met by a beast that was so hairy that they could not tell its front from its back. They said, "Woe to you! What are you?" It said, I am Al-Jassasa. You go to this man in the monastery, for he is eager to know about you. Tamim said that when it named a person to us, we were afraid that it could be a devil. Tamim said, "We quickly went to the monastery. We found a huge man with his hands tied to his neck and with iron shackles between his legs up to the ankles. We said, 'Woe to you, who are you?' He said, 'You will soon know about me. Tell me, who are you?' We said, 'We are people from Arabia. We sailed in a ship, but the waves have been tossing us about for about a month. And they brought us to your island, where we meet a beast, Al-Jassasa. And it said, "Go to this man in the monastery, for he is very eager to know about you." So we came to you quickly, fearing you might be a devil. The man said, "Tell me about the dates palms of Baysan. We said, what do you want to know about them? He said, I want to know whether these trees bear fruit or not. We said, yes. He said, soon they will not bear fruit. Then he said, tell me about the lake of Al-Tabariya. We said, what do you want to know about it? Is there any water in it? He asked. We said, yes, it is full of water. He said, inform me about the fountain of Zogara. Is there any water in the fountain? And do its inhabitants irrigate with the water of the fountain? Yes, we reply, it is full of water and the inhabitants are irrigating with its water. Then he said, tell me about the unlettered prophet, what has he done? We said, he has left Mecca and settled in Medina. He asked, did the Arabs fight against him? He said, yes. We said, yes. He said, how he has dealt with them? We told him that the Prophet ﷺ had overcome the Arabs around him and that they had followed him. He said, it is better for them if they follow him. Now I will tell you about myself. I am Dajjal. I will soon be permitted to leave this place. I will emerge and travel about the earth in 40 nights. I will pass through every town except Mecca and Medina, for these have been forbidden to me. Every time I will try to enter them, I will be met by an angel bearing an unsheathed sword who will prevent me from entering. There will be angels guarding them at every passage leading to them. Fatima said, the Prophet ﷺ striking the pulpit with the staff said, this is Tayyibah, this is Tayyibah, this is Tayyibah, Medina. Have I told you something like this? People said, yes. I like this account of Tamim because it agrees with that which I have told you about Dajjal and about Mecca and Medina. Indeed, he is in the Syrian Sea or the Yemen Sea. No, but he is in the east. He is in the east. He also pointed towards the east. Fatima said, I remember this from the Prophet ﷺ Muslim. If it is a tradition is taken on its face value, it implies that the Dajjal is already born, is alive and chained in a far away island of Bahrain or Yemen or Syria or elsewhere in the world. It is a bit surprising that the American and European fleets are roaming about every nook and corner of that region. Before them, Turks were masters of the sea. Why have they not found the Dajjal in any populated or unpopulated island? For this, we may assume that the Dajjal is also secret from among many secrets kept with the all-knowing. Sometimes he shows one of these secrets to the people in order to impress his revelation or information given by his messengers. For example, the wall barrier of Gog and Magog, angels, hell and heaven, torment of grave, etc. that require to be believed by the faithful. The presence of the Dajjal may also be seen in this light.
وإذا بدا من ناطق الوجدان ما يدعوك للياس الذميم الأشنع فاستيقظي من نومة
The time of emergence of the Dajjal. It is known for certain that it is not known for certain exactly when the Dajjal is going to appear. It is not known for certain exactly when the Mahdi, the rightly guided leader of the Muslims who will walk in the footsteps of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is going to appear. But it is quite certain that there will be a chain of events in the Middle East which will bring the major communities, the Muslims, the Christians and the Jews direct and fierce confrontation. There will be a great war in Jerusalem, a great war in Medina, a great war in Syria, and a great war in Constantinople. Then the Dajjal will appear and the Mahdi will take the command of the Muslims. Muslims will emerge victorious, but they will pray for a very high price of life and wealth. Then Hazrat Isa, Jesus Christ, may God bless him, will descend on earth, will kill the Dajjal, will pray for safety against Gog and Magog. Therefore, the whole world will embrace Islam. Hazrat Isa a.s. will live for about 40 years, then he will die and will be buried at the side of the Prophet Muhammad in Medina. The following traditions give some explicit information about some of the sequence of events during the last years of this world. Hazrat Ma'az bin Jabal, may God be pleased with him, relates that the Holy Messenger ﷺ said, populous habitation of Bayt al-Muqaddas, Jerusalem, will be due to destruction of Medina. The destruction of Medina will be the result of a fierce battle. The fierce battle will cause the conquest of Constantinople, and the conquest of Constantinople will result into the emergence of the Dajjal. Abu Dawud. Hazrat Ma'az, may God be pleased with him, has also narrated that the Holy Messenger ﷺ said, the great battle, the conquest of Constantinople and the emergence of the Dajjal will be within 7 months. Abu Dawud and TheMessage. Hazrat Abdullah bin Busr, may God be pleased with him, stated that the Holy Prophet ﷺ has said, the duration between great battle and conquest of Constantinople will be 6 years and the Dajjal will emerge on the 7th year. Related by Abu Dawud and commented to be a very authentic hadith. Hazrat Ibn Umar, may God be pleased with him, related that Muslims would be encircled in Medina in such a way that their farmost frontier will be Salah, a village near Khaybar. Abu Dawud. Hazrat Zu Makhbar, may God be pleased with him, alluded that Holy Prophet ﷺ has said, you Muslims will make peace treaty with the Romans, Christians. You and they together will attack the enemy. You will return safe victorious with spoils. You will get down a valley surrounded by mountains. Therein a Christian will raise cross and say, cross has won. This will infuriate Muslims and he will break the cross. The Christians will throw the treaty away and will fight the Muslims. All the Muslims will be killed and get martyrdom. Abu Dawud. Hazrat Abu Hurairah, may God be pleased with him, states that the Holy Prophet ﷺ inquired, have you heard of a town where a part of the town is in the sea and a part in the land? They replied, yes. He said, the last hour should not come till 70,000 children of Ishaq shall attack it. When they will land down, they will not attack with arms, neither will they do with arrows. They will only say, there is no God but Allah, and Allah is the greatest. One of its sides will fall down. They will say it the second time, and the second wall will fall. They will say it the third time, and the entire wall will collapse. The Muslims will enter the city and get the spoils, while they will be dividing the booties. They will hear a very loud noise. The Dajjal has come out. Hearing this, they will leave everything and return. Muslim. Deaths. A brief history of the Dajjal. After going through all the traditions that came to us from various sources, it appears that many Dajjals, or about 30 Dajjals as enumerated in some hadiths, will appear. All of them will be liars, apostates, and will inflict tremendous harm to Islam and Muslims. But all these Dajjals will be smaller Dajjals and their damage will be effectively dwarfed by Muslims. In this light, all the self-proclaimed apostles or those who claim themselves as prophets may be included in the list of Dajjal, but the big Dajjal, who at first will declare himself to be a prophet and later switch over to lordship, will come forth near the onset of the great hour. He will emerge from Isfahan, Isfahan with a Jewish origin. An army of 70,000 Jews wearing black sheets from Isfahan will follow him. He will trample the entire world under his feet. All the Jews, Christians, hypocrites, and about 70,000 Muslims or infirm or shaky faith will believe him. and obey his orders. He will show the people various tricks and false miracles that will attract the people to believe him. He will revive the people, their parents and their animals after their deaths. He will order the sky to rain and it will start raining. He will order the earth to grow its plants and there will be green plants. He will order the earth to bring out its hidden wealth and all the hidden wealth will come out and follow him. Only the firm believers with an unshaken faith will remain firm and will fight tooth and nail against the Dajjal, but they will be unable to prevent his onslaught. In a very short period of about 1 year and a quarter, he will plunder and destroy nearly the whole world. Even he will reach the doors of Medina, but he will not be able to enter it. The Almighty God will save him from the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, from the mischief of the Dajjal, from the mountain Uhud. The angels guarding the cities of Medina will drive him towards Syria, where the Muslims will fight him bravely, and from where he will run away from after seeking Jesus Christ alayhi salam. He will be killed at Uhud's need by the hands of Jesus Christ alayhi salam. This will be the greatest test of Muslims before the advent of Doomsday. May God save us from the mischief of the Dajjal, the Antichrist. The annihilation of Jews. Hazrat Abu Hurairah relates, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, the doomsday will not come till the Muslims will fight again, until the Muslims will fight the Jews. The Muslims will kill them. Even the stones and the trees will cry out that the Jew is hiding behind me. The stones and trees will, O slave of God, a Jew is behind me, come and kill him. The trees will inform the Muslims except Gharqad tree, because it is the tree of Jews, Muslim. Emergence of Imam Mahdi. The emergence of the Dajjal will coincide with the time when Imam Mahdi, the guided man, under whose command the unified armies of Muslims will be waging a fierce battle with the Christians and Jews. Under his charismatic leadership, the Muslims will take back Jerusalem, Syria, Turkey, and other Islamic territories lost to much superior armies of Christians and Jews. In this context, it will be wise to discuss the personality of Imam Mahdi. According to Salma, may God be pleased with her, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, after the death of a ruler, there will be some dispute among the people. At that time, a resident of Medina will flee from Medina and go to Mecca, while in Mecca certain people will approach him between Hajarul Aswad, Black Stone, and the Maqam Ibrahim and forcefully pledge their allegiance to him. Thereafter, a huge army will proceed from Syria to attack him. But when they will be at Bayda, which is between Mecca and Medina, the earth will swallow them. On seeing this, the Abdas of Syria, as well as large number of people from Iraq, will come to him and pledge their allegiance to him. Then a person from the Quraysh, whose uncle will be from the Bani Kalb tribe, will send an army to attack him, only to be overforced by the will of Allah. This defeated army will be that of Bani Kalb. He will be unlucky who does not receive a share from the booty of the Kalb. Imam Mahdi will distribute the spoils of war after the battle. He will lead the people according to the Sunnah, and during his reign Islam will spread throughout the world. He will remain alive for 7 more years and will die at the age of 47. He will die and the Muslims will perform the funeral prayers. Abu Dawood. Who is Imam Mahdi? The term Mahdi is a title meaning the guided one. His name will be Muhammad. His father will be Abdullah and his mother will be Amina. He will be tall and fair complexion. His face will be similar to those of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. His character will be exactly like that of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He will speak with a slight stutter or stammer, and accordingly his stutter will frustrate him, causing him to hit his hand upon his thigh. This will be 40 years old when he emerges. He will receive knowledge from Allah. These are the prophecies about him in hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to Abdullah ibn Masud, may God be pleased with him, that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "This world will not come to an end until one person, Mahdi, from my progeny does not rule over the Arabs, and his name will be the same as mine." Tirmidhi. Ali, may God be pleased with him, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrates, "Even if a day remains for doomsday to come, yet Allah will surely send a man from my family who will fill this world with such justice and fairness, just as it initially was filled with oppression." Abu Dawud. According to Abu Sa'id Khudri, may God be pleased with him, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Al-Mahdi will be from my progeny. His forehead will be broad and his nose will be high. He will fill the whole world with justice and fairness at the time when the world would be filled with oppression. He will rule for 7 years." Abu Dawud. According to Abu Sa'id Khudri, may God be pleased with him, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said regarding the rule of Imam Mahdi, "The skies will rain down in abundance and the earth will yield forth its crop in abundance, and those alive will desire that those who have already passed away should be alive to enjoy their prosperity." Mustadrak. Buraidah, may God be pleased with him, narrates, the Holy Prophet ﷺ has said, there will be many armies after me. You must join that army which comes from Khurasan. According to Abu Hurairah, may God be pleased with him, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Armies carrying black flags will come from Khurasan. No power will be able to stop them. They will finally reach Baitul Maqaddas in Jerusalem. Where they will hoist their flags." Tirmidhi. According to Abu Sa'id Khudri, may God be pleased with him, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "He Mahdi, behind whom Isa, Jesus Christ, will perform prayer, will be from my progeny." Abu Umama, may God be pleased with him, narrates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "There will be 4 peace agreements between you and the Romans. The 4th agreement will be mediated through a person who will be from the progeny of Harun alayhi salam, and will be Imam upheld for 7 years." The companions asked, "O Prophet, may God be pleased with him, who will be that Imam of the people at that time?" The Prophet replied, "He will be of my progeny and will be of 40 years of age. His face will shine like a star, and he will have a black spot on his left cheek. He will put on 2 Qutwani cloaks." Traditions, hadith, inform us that after his emergence in Makkah, Imam Mahdi will proceed to Medina, where he will attend the Prophet's tomb. Thereafter, he will proceed to Syria, and as he nears Damascus, a massive Christian army will confront him. 1/3 of Imam's army will flee, while 1/3 becomes martyred, and the remaining 1/3 will attain victory. Imam Mahdi will then establish his rule and then send an army of 70,000 men to conquer Istanbul. As this army will approach the huge walls that surround the city, they will exclaim, "Allahu Akbar," causing the entire wall to come tumbling down. They will then enter the city, and after the battle, take it over and establish Muslim rule. Imam Mahdi will then return towards Syria and establish Muslim rule over all the areas that he will pass through. By the time he reaches Sham, Syria, news of the emergence of the Antichrist, Dajjal, will be received. According to Ibn Abbas, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "The that ummah, Muslims, will never be destroyed, in whose beginning I am there, in whose end Jesus son of Mary is there, and in the middle Imam Mahdi will be there." Sequence of events at the time of emergence of Imam Mahdi. A detailed and comprehensive look at the hadith regarding the advent of Imam Mahdi the much awaited guided man by the Muslim and those who will relieve them from their onslaught of the Christians and Jews present before us the following scenario. On this time the Christians will be in a great majority and they will be the dominant power in the world. Their rule will extend even up to Khaybar near Medina. The ruler of Medina will die and then a war of succession will take place. He will leave Medina for Mecca while he will be making tawafs circumambulating the Kaaba 7 times. A group of Muslims will meet him and will take an oath for allegiance to him. An army will be dispatched from Syria to fight him. This will be swallowed by the earth between Mecca and Medina. Seeing this, a larger number of people from Syria, Iraq and other parts of the world will come and swear loyalty to him. An army of Khorasan, nowadays Afghanistan, will lead by a man called Mansur, will come for the aid of Imam Mahdi. They will conquer Jerusalem. Later, this unified army will defeat Syrian army sent by a person from Bani Qalb. Later on, Syria will be occupied by Christians. After that, Christians will be divided into 2 groups. One faction will make allegiance with the Muslims and they together will fight against the other faction. The Allied will win, but during the victory celebration, a Christian will raise a cross and will say that the cross has triumphed. This will infuriate Muslims who will jump over it and break the cross. An all-out war between the Muslims and the Christians will break out, in which the whole Muslim army would be killed. After that, Imam Mahdi will take command of the Muslims and will defeat the Christians. After taking over Syria, Imam Mahdi will proceed towards Italy or Constantinople, Istanbul, whose surrounding walls will fall down after hearing the voice of Takbir. Allah is the greatest one. In Constantinople, Satan will falsely cry out that Dajjal has reached your families. The Muslims will hurry back to their families where they will find the news is baseless. After a little while, Dajjal will emerge in Syria. In Syria, Imam Mahdi with an army of devoted Muslims will prepare to fight Dajjal. But before fighting breaks out, Hazrat Isa a.s. will descend. A maid look towards Jesus Christ will melt Dajjal like salt melts in water, and he will flee towards Jerusalem. Hazrat Isa a.s. will chase him and will finally kill him at Lut, presently lead with his own hands. Imam Mahdi will live for about 7 more years after assuming power and then will die. Hazrat Isa a.s. will take total command. He will break the cross and will make the pig taboo. All the infidels and non-believers will die or will convert to Islam. Islam will be the only religion for the world. He will fill the earth with justice. God will shower all his blessings on the earth. Hazrat Isa a.s. will marry and will have children. He will die after 40 or 45 years and will be buried beside Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Medina. May God shower his blessings on them and be pleased with the faithfuls. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
Yo. This journey, this road that I travel on, it all seems crazy. Over the years, I picked up thousands of tag-alongs, inspired by my story from a juvenile, when my clothes had holes in them and my afro was picky. To them 90s, Moschino and Versace, no laces in a rod.